Hey family, how's it going? So first of all, I really want to thank you again. Guys, any video I do, I have to start with a thank you note because I'm here because of all of you. You're the reason, why I exist, so whatever little I can do to say my thanks to you, I think would never be enough. So thank you again. Thank you very, 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 very much. So what are we talking about today? This is something very important, and yet everybody's talking about it because I've been getting a couple of questions around it, which is around flexible dieting. Now, the moment I say flexible dieting, the two words don't usually get along well. Flexible and yet you are dieting, but this is apparently the buzzword in the fitness industry, especially amongst fitness models and people who have or who are aspiring for aesthetic gains. So what exactly is flexible dieting? So guys, don't go by the name, it has nothing to do with it. What it means is whatever it takes to get to your macros, simple as that. What that means is it's not a diet. If you're thinking flexible dieting is a diet like a GM diet, Atkins diet, it's not. It's more of a concept, which means that you have a total calorie requirement during the day, which is called TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. Let's say your TDEE can be calculated on any of the health websites, any website for that matter. So for that it's just a small little form where you have to fill your age, your lifestyle and your height, some basic numbers. So it not inaccurately, but 70-80% captures your total calorie intake, which means how much food you should be taking in numbers. It could be 2500, it could be 2700, whatever. That depends on the numbers that you fed in there. Now once you got those numbers, it will also give you a breakup of your macros. Macros means your macronutrient, which includes your carbs, your fats, your protein. Now the same 2800, 3000 calorie, that number that you got, it will be broken down into these macros. So let's say 1100 your carb intake and 700 your protein and so on and so forth. Now what flexible dieting says that once you know your TDEE, you can eat whatever it takes so long you just stay in that threshold of your daily calorie requirement, which means if my total calorie requirement for the day is 3000, I can eat anything in that 3000 and be normal. So it doesn't matter if it's clean food, it doesn't matter if it's junk food, whatever kind of food it is. But here's my take on it, guys. I don't think it works in India, and I don't think but the whole philosophy is flawed. I think flexible dieting can work if only and only if you still eat clean. You can't eat junk. It's like saying that I'm going to have 3000 calories, but in those 3000 calories I'm going to have my junk food, I'm going to have my fries, I'm going to have my pizzas. It won't work like that. Plus in India you also don't have a luxury of capturing or measuring those macros like you have MyFitPal or things like different apps in the US which can actually capture your daily requirement. But here in India, how do you measure it? So obviously that remains a challenge still. So anything that you eat, if you want to log or clock it, it becomes more of a challenge more than a solution because it's not going to be accurate. And the moment if it's not accurate, if it goes beyond your total calorie, you obviously bound to gain some weight. If it goes below your calorie, you're bound to lose some muscle because you're in a deficit mode. So I feel flexible dieting, if you're really thinking of trying, because I see a lot of you getting inspired by these so-called YouTubers, I love them too. It's so great to see them doing stuff online and having their life put up online, which is actually a good idea. So what I'm going to do is also, guys, this is on a side note, I would also have more of a healthy living series with me, wherein we spend the whole day together, probably on a daily basis, or we'll see how that pans out in terms of the time I wake up, what all exercises do we do, how my work and everything. So I'll give you a tour every day how my day looks like and some of the healthy habits that I have which you can incorporate to stay fit and healthy. So having said that, coming back to flexible dieting, so like now let's put flexible dieting into perspective. You're a student, and if you're trying to do flexible dieting, what would you do? Now the good thing about flexible dieting is that you don't have to eat your meals every 2 or 3 hours. You can still eat and have a break for about 4 or 5 hours, like even when you're studying or whatever, you don't have access to food, so long you remain in that total calorie requirement that you've measured. So that's a good thing. So college students can actually benefit out of that. Similarly, working professionals, similarly women, everybody can benefit. But if you were to eat too much in one time, it may just upset your stomach. So it definitely defeats the conventional wisdom, which is you have to eat every 2 hours, 3 hours. So it defies that. It definitely defies the other conventional wisdom, which is that you have to eat clean food. But some people have tried it, but again these are things that they keep coming and going. But flexible dieting is definitely for people who can't eat every 2-3 hours, because they feel that A, I'm not hungry, B, I don't have access to food. So do flexible dieting only and only if you feel that you're crunched on time and you can't eat food. But for others, I would stick to the conventional wisdom, which is eat every 2-3 hours, and you just try to eat clean. Guys, flexible dieting, I also feel, is probably the only nutritional concept in fitness which has sustainability, which means you can sustain this for the rest of your life. Because there will be times when you will not have access to food, but so long you know your nutritional requirement, your numbers there, your TDEEs, you're absolutely good. So from sustainability perspective, it's absolutely fine. But what you put in those macros is something that remains questionable. But what I would say, the best way to do flexible dieting is eat clean and just measure what you're eating. Yes, though an app may be apt for it. Even I'm looking out for a good, accurate app. When I come across, I'll definitely share my input on it. But for now, you just have to go by all those US apps, or those even some Indian apps, which are maybe not as accurate, but somewhat accurate, about 70 to 80%, which can help you track your macros on a daily basis. So I'll again summarize it for you. So for you to do flexible dieting, A, you need to know your total daily energy expenditure, which can be found out on any of the health websites. What they would do is they will ask you for your weight, your height, your lifestyle. Once you know that, then the same website or the same numbers can be broken down into your macros. If you have daily TDEE is somewhere 3000, so it'll give you a breakup. Okay, 1200 is your carbs, 800 is your fat, and say 1000 is your macros or your fats. Now the third part will be tracking those macros. So that's where the app comes in. Then you have to track those macros, whether you're meeting those requirements on a daily basis or not. If you meet them on a daily basis or weekly, depending on your goal, if your goal is to lose body fat or gain muscle, it will actually work in your favor. So do give it a shot, because I think it definitely has potential, and I'm going to try it out for sure. I tried it, but again, because of this whole inaccuracy around the app, it didn't go down too well. But I'll keep trying it and probably give you my detailed feedback around it. So any one of you have any questions around this, feel free to reach out to me. I would urge you to go to tarungillfitness.com/discussions and put up your question there. And also for the lazy ones, you can obviously reach out to me either on my Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and I'll be very happy to help you with your flexible dieting goals. So until we meet again, peace.